Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and today we're going to be doing an in-depth analysis and review, and I'm going to be doing my exclusive comparison review here on SeaQuest, the complete series on Blu Ray. Now, we're going to be doing a comparison between this Blu Ray release from Mill Creek to the other Blu Ray releases, like this one from Via Vision, and I'll talk briefly about the one from Germany that I own as well, because I own all three complete series sets now of SeaQuest on Blu Ray. So I have quite a bit of experience now going through all of these and reviewing all of these. Now, as most of you know that have watched my channel for a while, I reviewed the Via Vision one and the one from Germany in a comparison review many years ago here on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out that review that goes a little bit more in depth about talking about the show and then going into the Via Vision set specifically and the Germany one a little bit more, you can check out that review after you get done watching this video. And I'll link it up above, and then I'll put it at the end of the video as well. That way when you get done, you can click on that and go watch that. But it covers basically a little bit more in depth about the Germany set. Today I'm going to be mostly focusing on the Via Vision versus Mill Creek's Blu Ray set. Now, in this review, I'm going to do my exclusive image comparisons between these two sets, let you know which one of these comes out on top as far as image goes. I'm going to go through and break down all of my exclusive testing and analysis that I do on all of these Blu-rays and 4Ks that I exclusively review here on my YouTube channel, and I'll tell you which one breaks out and is the winner, and at the end I'll always wrap it up with my review score to let you know which one of these came out ahead and which one you should spend your money on if you don't already own one of these sets, or if it's worth upgrading to or getting the Mill Creek set, if it's an upgrade, versus the Via Vision or the Germany set. So we got a lot of exciting stuff to dive into here today. Now make sure, if you haven't done so already, to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Click that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you never miss out on any of this exclusive content that I release here on my YouTube channel. Now to start off with, we're going to start off here up above with the native image from these discs that I pulled off of these of the Via Vision set. And this is the set we're mostly going to be comparing to, because the German set, if you watch that original review when I did the comparison between this and the German set, this one did come out ahead of the German set. So I figured since this one was the winner in the last one, we'd be comparing this one obviously to the Mill Creek one. Now, the image that you see up above obviously is the unfiltered and natural image that's on these discs. Now in comparison to the Mill Creek set here, you're going to see the Mill Creek image up above. Now, there are some differences right off of the bat between the two sets and what the image presented. Now, I'm going to break down everything else between both sets as well in this review, but I just want to start off with talking about the image here for a minute. The big things that I did notice between the images that are drastically different are affected somewhat by the amount of disc count, compression, and things that are used differently between the Via Vision set and what Mill Creek did here. Now, both sets are presented in their original aspect ratio of 1.33 to 1. They didn't cut it down or edit that down, so that's good news. Both sets, you didn't get a one-up on that at all in the image. That's why both of those have the same image presentation that you're seeing above. But because of the disc count, there are some drastic differences. For example, on Mill Creek's Blu-ray set, it does have 10 BD50 Blu-ray discs in this set. Where on Via Vision's complete series set, you did get 12 BD50s that are Blu-ray discs in this set. So you did get 2 additional Blu-ray discs for them to spread out the content more without having to compress it as much as what Mill Creek released in theirs. And that's where the image that you're seeing above has some noticeable differences. For example, on the Mill Creek set, it did have more compression, there was more banding, and you will notice a softer image, just slightly softer, than what Via Vision had overall throughout the entire series. Now, will I say it's a game changer to where it's going to be, hey, 40% better image on Via Vision's versus Mill Creek's? No. I'm going to say probably with what you're seeing above there, it should be slightly noticeable. I'd probably say it's anywhere between 15 to 20% more detail that's represented in Via Vision's, because they didn't over compress it as much as what Mill Creek's has. Now, there's some things that go into that there was some bonuses that Mill Creek's set had over Via Vision, but I wanted to touch on that just a little bit here. We'll come back and talk a little bit about how that's affected a little bit later on. But both sets, I will touch on with the banding. There was some slight banding just briefly in Via Vision's, But in the Mill Creek one, it is quite a bit more heavy, especially the later seasons is when you notice it, because it was the later two seasons, seasons 2 and 3, that Mill Creek cut those extra discs out of. And they shoved more content, like 7 and 8 episodes, into those final discs of those seasons. That was way too much content for that BD50, so therefore they had to compress it more, which caused numerous other issues with the image that didn't appear in the ViaVision nearly as much. So that's where I said that is one downside of the Mill Creek set. Now both sets contain the complete series. All 59 episodes, full 3 seasons of SeaQuest are contained in this. Now some people were confused and didn't understand how SeaQuest had 3 seasons because they thought it only had 2. Well, actually SeaQuest had 3 seasons. In season 3, they changed the name of the show to SeaQuest 2032. It was still the same SeaQuest show, it just jumped forward in time and basically had some slightly different characters, some changes in the show. The show had some different showrunners like Steven Spielberg and things. He was an executive producer on the 3rd season, and there were some other changes, and it's a slightly shorter season. But that's all contained in Mill Creek set. So whether you get ViaVisions or whether you get Mill Creeks, it does contain all 3 seasons, the complete series of the show. But that's where there are some slight differences as far as episodes, what you get between each series as well. Now on ViaVision set, you do get a little bit extra bonuses as far as cuts of the episodes. Now on the ViaVision sets, you do get feature-length versions of the pilot episode to be or not to be, plus the syndicated versions of that episode. So the nice thing is you did get several cuts of the episodes on the ViaVision set that you don't get in the SeaQuest version. You just get one cut, that's it. Now also on the ViaVision set, you do get another feature-length and 2-part syndicated episodic cut of the 2nd season opener, Daggers. This one you only get 1. So again, you do get a bonus on the ViaVision that you don't get on the Mill Creek set. Now talking about the Mill Creek set, what you do get a 1-up on. The Mill Creek does come audio-wise with English DTS HD Master Audio 2.0. And it did sound slightly better on the Mill Creek set than it did on the ViaVision, which got a Dolby Digital 2.0 stereo mix. So that's a 1-up that Mill Creek did get, is that actually the audio did sound better on the Mill Creek one. So like I said, there's some pluses and minuses to both here. Though I will touch on this, when I did all my exclusive testing on the audio, there is some slight audio delays and audio lag on both sets. Now, they're not heavy, they're just throughout some of the episodes because of the different content, and this is something I'll touch on image-wise. Both sets do have scenes throughout almost each episode that will go from 1080p all the way down to SD content. We're talking standard definition. And there will be a scene, it'll look really good, then it'll go right down to standard definition, and I'm not just talking about the special effects. Though I will show you a scene above of the special effects. The special effects were not remastered and redone. Because those were done back then, they didn't go back and redo all the special effects like they did with that original Star Trek series or Next Generation. They did not do that with SeaQuest. So what you're getting that has a better image quality than what you had on DVD is the actual image of the show of the characters that was filmed on film. Though, like I did say, on both sets it had identical scenes that went to SD content when it would be even the actors talking, and there'd be a scene that all of a sudden you could tell, hey man, this is SD, then it'll go back to 1080p. So just be aware of that. No matter which set you get, whether it's ViaVision or Mill Creek, you're going to have that occur throughout the entire series no matter what. That's based on the original content that they're getting these actual masters from. That basically is only available in SD content for those few seconds per episode. And I talked about that on MacGyver, I've talked about that on Andy Griffith, I've talked about that on dozens of these older TV series that were filmed on film, that sometimes some of the scenes are missing, so they only have the SD content for that scene to put it on to Blu Ray. So that's just the way it's always going to be. It's still an appreciable upgrade for the majority of it, because when the actors are talking and scenes with them in it, you do get a nice 1080p image overall that looks nice throughout it, other than obviously the differences between this having some slight banding and compression issues in later series that is more evident than what you had on ViaVisions. Now, another big upgrade that I did like on Mill Creek set here. So this is another bonus, is Mill Creek gave way more special features on it. They did a bunch of new ones like cast interviews, behind the scenes that they'd acquire. They got deleted scenes, which you do get some deleted scenes in the Via Vision, but that was about it with the extra cuts of the episodes. Whereas this, you do get interviews, behind the scenes with a series creator, director, cast and crew. So I did like that Mill Creek did contain a lot more special features. So that's another one-up that the Mill Creek set had over the Via Vision. Now, just like with this review that's a comparison review, this is something I've exclusively done on my channel for years. Well, now I have available my Collector's VIP Club membership. In this VIP Club membership, you'll get access to exclusive comparison reviews that compare different releases from all over the world of these Blu Ray and 4K sets to show you which set is the one you're going to want to buy based on all of the testing and analysis that I do, just like what I'm doing in this review. I just recently did the $6 Million Man comparison review. That compares all the different sets from around the world, showing you image comparisons, just like what I'm doing on this one with SeaQuest, showing you side by side which one has the best image, special features, audio, all of that compiled into that massive review. And that's available right now on my Collector's VIP Club membership. In that Collector's VIP Club membership, you get a ton of extra perks and benefits and surprises. Each month I release exclusive video content for just my VIP Club members in that membership. Just like that $6 Million Man review. Well, I have another big one that I just announced that's coming up. And this is another exclusive video that you are only ever gonna find here on my YouTube channel. And that's what's so unique about this Collector's VIP Club. It's exclusive content that nobody else anywhere around the world wants to do or is doing because of the amount of time, work, and money it takes for me to create this type of content for all of you to watch. Well, another big one I just announced as a surprise that's coming up is the Virginian. This is a remastered 1080p HD for the first time worldwide Blu Ray set that I'm going to be comparing to the original DVD releases. And I'm going to be doing my exclusive image comparisons, analysis and testing data, and review on that set that's coming out. And that's something that's going to be available exclusively on my VIP Club membership as well. If you haven't seen The Virginian, it's one of my #1 favorite classic Western series of all time. I'm blown away it's finally coming out completely remastered on Blu Ray, and I'm excited to dive into that, do all of my testing and analysis, and see how that comes out, if it's a worthwhile upgrade and something we should all spend our money on. So that's going to be a really exciting video coming out here on my channel for my VIP Club members. So if you haven't joined the VIP Club yet, you need to go and join that VIP Club membership so you don't miss out on any of that exclusive content that you're only ever going to find here on my VIP Club. And just to let you know, to join that membership, it's less than the cost of a cup of coffee each month. And that gives you access to all those perks and benefits and all that exclusive video content. And if you enjoy these videos as well, you can always give a super thanks down below. That's just like a tip that goes straight back into this channel, and that helps to fund these videos so I can keep creating all this content as well. Now, talking about Mill Creek set here, another one-up. The Mill Creek set does have English subtitles for the entire series. On Via Vision set, you don't get any subtitles. So, like I said, there's some positives and some negatives for both. Now, on Via Visions, if you want to see the unboxing of that, I did that previously on that other video that I referenced earlier on. That's available now on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out after you get done watching this, you can check that out for the unboxing on the Via Vision. And if after watching this review, you want to pick up either of these sets based on my review, whichever one you think fits what you're wanting out of it, I'll always have them posted down in the description section right below this video and as a pinned comment. Takes you straight out to Amazon. It'll ship anywhere worldwide, and it's the same price everywhere. You click on that, I've made it nice and easy for you. It'll ship it to your home. And those are always posted in the description section and as a pinned comment right below each video. That way you just go down there if after watching the review you want the Via Vision one or you want to get the Mill Creek one. I'll have the sale links posted right down there for you. Now, talking about the artwork, I do like the artwork that Mill Creek did for their set better than I like the artwork for Via Vision. So another bonus for the SeaQuest set from Mill Creek is I really think the artwork they did for this is actually very nice looking. I like how the SeaQuest kind of looks gold that it's coming out. It says from executive producer Steven Spielberg. I like on the side how it says SeaQuest. And then on the back here, I liked how it had the ship kind of glowing, and then it showed some of the cast. Now, it does say that this is Region A locked. Now, this is another thing I'm going to touch on here. As always, I exclusively test every single disc that I get here on my YouTube channel. Well, I am happy to announce on the Mill Creek set, even though it does say Region A locked, it is 100% region free. Every single disc in this set is region free and is not region locked at all. That is the same as the ViaVision set is as well. So no matter which set you want to get, unlike the German set that I previously reviewed on that previous video, the big bonus between the ViaVision and the Mill Creek one is they are both 100% region free. So no matter where you live worldwide, whichever set you want to buy, and like I said, I put that link below, you can get the ViaVision and the Mill Creek and watch it anywhere worldwide. They are both 100% region free. Now, when you get inside here, it does have a really nice cover on it. I said I really thought Mill Creek did a great job with the artwork on it. I really like the wave coming over part of the logo, SeaQuest DSV. I showed you the side there. It shows obviously the captain, SeaQuest DSV on there. And then here's the back, a completely different artwork than what was on the back of the case. So again, I did like what Mill Creek did with that artwork. Now, when you get inside here, this is where this has another one up over ViaVision. On ViaVisions, you just get plain black discs for the later seasons. The first season has a picture on it, which I did like, but season 2 and 3, you get plain black discs that say SeaQuest on them. On Mill Creeks, you get really nice artwork for each of them. And it does talk about what actual episodes are listed on it with the bonus features on each disc, so you know exactly what's on them, as opposed to on ViaVisions, as you saw, it was just a plain black disc which said the logo of basically what the disc is and what season it is. Well, these actually change color as you go through. So season 2 has it in green, and then when you get to the final season here, you do get it in purple. But again, like I did say, they did compress the final seasons quite a bit more than they did the first season of SeaQuest in Mill Creek set. So that's where you'll notice most of the heavier banding and compression issues that'll appear in the image over what you have with the ViaVision set, because overall, just throughout the entire series, the Mill Creek set does have a softer image that lacks a bit more detail than what ViaVision did because of that compression, because you got one less disc. So the final season, they threw all of it onto 2 discs. So for example, the final disc here has 7 episodes all onto one Blu Ray disc. That's a BD50, which is too much content. They had to compress it down, obviously, for the runtime of the show. So that was the only disappointing thing about the discs, because they could have thrown in, and this seems to be commonplace for Mill Creek, but they could have thrown in that extra 2 discs, and honestly, it would have had a much better and much more stable image without it being as soft as what ViaVision had, a much more detailed image. And so a little bit disappointed with that, but that seems to be part of the course, as most of you know, with these Mill Creeks that I've reviewed over the years. I mean, heck, I did that I Dream of Jeannie here about a year ago, and Mill Creek sent me that one for review as well, and so disappointed in that one, though. The image quality in that one was horrible. Well, thankfully, this one, the image quality is not anywhere near that one. So when I get to my review score, you'll understand what I mean about that. But it does still have a decent 1080p image. It's not, like I said, one of those where, hey, it's not even 1080p, it's like 720 or things like that. It's not. It does have a nice, decent 1080p image, except for the special effects scenes and those few SD scenes that show up because they didn't have that content. So I will say it is nice that at least they didn't do what they did with I Dream of Jeannie for this. Now, on the ViaVision original review, I gave this an 8.8 review score, which was a decent review score, and it still holds up. That's what I would have given it today. It's a good release. It's not the best release I've ever seen. Man, if they would have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this to remaster the special effects like they did with Star Trek The Next Generation or Star Trek The Original Series, man, it would have looked amazing. But it's more or less a cult classic sci-fi TV series that it never is as big as Star Trek was. I mean, heck, you only had 3 seasons, and the final season was very short, as well as the producer, Steven Spielberg, basically stepped away. So the quality is drastically different than the first 2 seasons. The first 2 seasons are drastically my favorite seasons of this series. But I have some good memories about the series. I loved watching it again. Now, this is my 3rd time getting it. As most of you know, I have the German set. Then I bought the ViaVision set, and then Mill Creek sent me, thankfully, this set for review. So huge shout out to Mill Creek for sending me this for review. That way I could do this comparison for all of you. But as all of you know, just because something's sent to me for review, it doesn't ever change my testing, data, or analysis. I will always be honest with all of you here on my YouTube channel because I always want you to know what's really worth collecting and adding to your collection. Just like myself, I do this for all of you collectors because I look at you all just like me. What am I wanting out of these videos? What am I wanting out of the review? What do I want to know about it? Well, that's what we all want to know is, what should you be spending your money on? Especially if you want to buy this and own this for years to come and enjoy. Which one do you want? Well, the ViaVision got an 8.8. It holds up. That is what I would still review this as an 8.8. Now, ViaVision does have some things that were lacking from it. I mentioned those with it lacking subtitles and other things that I mentioned earlier in this review. So there's one more big thing I have to touch on that is a big factor that kind of went into these review scores as well. This set runs right around about $100 to about $130 to buy this set. So no matter where you live worldwide, it runs about $100 to $130. It's never gone on sale for less than $100 bucks, but it averages right around $130 bucks. So it is a pricey set to get. I'm not going to say it's a dirt budget release, but again, you have to remember the image is a bit better looking on this one. Now, getting into the Mill Creek set here. That's where things change a little bit. Mill Creek is going to release this here about 2 weeks from when I post this video review for all of you to watch. So this review is about 2 weeks before the release date. So like I said, Mill Creek sent this to me early for review, and I do appreciate that. But this actually is being released in 2 weeks, right around 50 bucks. So big difference between ViaVision's at around 100 to 130 to Mill Creek's set at $50. So that's where I'll forgive them a little bit for some of the things because price-wise, you're less than half of what ViaVision's set costs. So it's gonna depend on kind of what you feel. Do you wanna spend the extra for the upgrade and visual, or are you okay with this set because you get some other bonuses that are kind of a nice upgrade? Well, that's where we're gonna get into my review score for this. My review score for the Mill Creek Blu Ray Complete Series set of SeaQuest is an 8.9. Now, it surprised me because when I went through everything, added them all up between what I gave ViaVision and then compared it to this came out at an 8.9. Now, it's not a huge difference in review score between both because they both had negatives and they both had positives. But in my opinion, when I sat down and went through each one image-wise and things like that, the difference, because it's just a slightly softer image, even though a lot of the scenes did look similar in the first season, it was later on that you really noticed where it kind of got a little bit softer. But because the later seasons weren't as good anyways, the first season was one of the most important. But you did get a bunch more special features, and the price, $50 for this versus 100 to 130 is hard to beat. So that's where I felt like very similar. It's gonna have to kind of be your decision. Is image more important or special features in audio and price? That's where Mill Creek's kind of coming out on this. Their audio was slightly better, but price-wise, you're less than half on this. So this did get an 8.9. And that's a first, I think, for a Mill Creek release that I've reviewed over the years. And I've done hundreds of these over the years. So Mill Creek, I think, is doing a slightly better job than they've done with a lot of these releases in the past. I mean, heck, I Dream of Jeannie was horrendous and numerous other ones I've reviewed of theirs. So I was happy. I like their artwork. I like that they include subtitles, and their audio mix was better on this. So that's some good news on this. Now, if you decide after watching this you want to pick up this one or you want to pick up the ViaVision, as I said, I posted that link in the description section right below this video and as a pinned comment. So it takes you straight out to Amazon. It's on sale there for the same price. There's no extra cost for you when you click on that link. Takes you straight out there, and I've made it nice and easy for you. So whichever one you decide you're going to pick up, those links are posted right down there for you to click on, so that way you can order or pre-order your copy depending on when you're watching this review. But like I said, this review should be about 2 weeks before the release date of this set, so that way you know which one you're going to want to order, whether you want to order the ViaVision or get the Mill Creek. Well, good news is this wasn't that bad. Though I will say Mill Creek still needs to do some work on their actual releases on Blu Ray. Stop compressing down to put things on too few discs. This would have gotten a much better review score overall and would have been highly recommended if they would have put it on at least 12 or 13 Blu Ray discs to give it plenty of room to breathe without compressing it down so that those later seasons didn't have any banding or any compression issues. Would have been great if Mill Creek would have done that, because they would have gotten a really good review score if they would have done a better job with this release, because their casing was great. I loved the artwork, audio, and all those other things I talked about. So Mill Creek, when you're watching this, do a little bit better work on not compressing down your content to save money on that extra 2 Blu Ray discs. Put those extra 2 or 3 Blu Ray discs in there and don't compress it, and you'll have a much better release that a lot more people will buy and support. So make sure on your next future releases of Blu Ray sets, just like I've talked about with numerous other ones, your Magnum PI one and all of those, when you compress them down and you try to compress it so it creates a softer image, and you use DNR or things like that, that then affects that image not looking as good as companies like Elephant Films, that they do a great job with their remasters and they don't compress it down into too few discs. And that's where, like, that Magnum PI set that I talked about in numerous posts and comments, people have asked about that. Well, the Mill Creek Magnum PI one was not as good as the Elephant Films one that I reviewed many years ago. And the Elephant Films one was completely remastered. They worked on speckles and damage on the film a lot more. Whereas the Magnum PI one from Mill Creek, that image itself, it did have slightly softer image, and they didn't do as much remaster or any work like that basically Elephant Films did with Magnum PI. And there's a lot of things that were different in the sets that basically the Elephant Films one just looked better overall. It didn't have some of the weird colors where the color saturation was turned way up that Mill Creek did on that one. But I do feel like Mill Creek is at least learning, and they are growing as a company. I do feel like they're listening a little more by including subtitles in this. So that's some good news. So there are some positives and some negatives. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these you're going to pick up. If you bought the original Via Vision one when I originally reviewed that many years ago of SeaQuest, make sure to post your comment in the comment section below. I always love to hear from all of you. Also, make sure if you're a big collector and you love all of these TV series reviews and TV series releases, just like I talked about earlier in this video, you'll want to join my VIP Club membership. That's how I can keep the lights on here and afford to keep creating all this exclusive video content that you can only ever find here. It's through that VIP Club membership, and that's why a lot of these complete series comparison reviews that I'm doing on Blu Ray, they're going to be released in that VIP Club membership. So if you're waiting, you don't want to miss out, you need to join that VIP Club membership today. And I'll put that link up above. It'll also be posted. It's always on the main page here of my YouTube channel, and it's always posted in the comment section and in the description section below, the join link to that VIP Club membership. And like I said, it only costs you a couple of dollars. It helps to support this channel, but it also gives you access to a bunch of my exclusive video content. The $6 Million Man review, that's in there, and that's exclusively for VIP Club memberships. It's a complete comparison, in-depth analysis. I think the video ended up being 40 minutes. I went through everything on all the sets, special features, image, audio, let you know everything you need to know about that set. And then I'm also going to be doing, coming up here, the next big one is the Virginian remastered Blu Ray set, and that's going to be a complete comparison as well. That's only going to be exclusively for my VIP Club memberships. That's the only way I can afford to do those, because those aren't sent to me for review. I have to go and spend all of my time, which usually takes me for a lot of those complete series sets. It takes me anywhere between 3 weeks to create a lot of those videos. That's a lot of hard work and time that I have to put into those, plus all the expense that goes into those. So that's why those will be exclusive VIP Club membership videos, and there will always be new ones coming out in that membership. Every few weeks you'll have something new that comes out in there that's going to be exclusive for my VIP Club members. So if you love all these classic TV series and all these in-depth analysis and reviews to show you what you want to get as a collector, you want to be a part of my VIP Club membership. If you enjoyed this video also, you can always give a super thanks down below. There's a button that looks just like that, and that's the super thanks button. It's just like a tip. You can give a tip of any amount on any of my videos, and that helps to support this channel as well. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to give this video a like, a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. As always, I hope all of you have a blessed day, and I always have something new and very exciting coming out very soon.